Hey, it's Joe Amoia, the Smarter Dating Guy, with this week's Smarter Dating Tip of the Week. Today I want to talk about the 3 steps you absolutely, positively must take if you want to succeed at online dating. See, online dating is like the game Monopoly. If you don't understand that it's a game and you don't understand the rules on how to play, it's going to be so much more difficult to actually win. So when I say that online dating is a game, I don't mean that you have to play games, because I'm not a big believer in playing games. I don't believe that gets anybody anywhere, and it's not the way to live your life. The whole thing is to be authentic. It's one of the premises of smarter dating, is to be who you are. But the reality is, even if you are being who you are, there are certain things that make you attractive to a man. There are certain things that guys look for, just like there are certain things that you look for. And so that leads us into step number 1. And that's really identifying who your ideal guy is. What are those specific qualities and characteristics that you absolutely positively must have? I call this your checklist for love. Because once you have a checklist for love and you identify those things that are on there clearly, it is so much easier to identify and find that type of guy. And more importantly, it makes it so much easier to recognize those guys who aren't what you're looking for. And that leads us into step number 2. And that's learning how to screen men and screen them quickly. One of the reasons that I believe online dating is one of the best ways to date is because you get to know a lot about a guy before you even meet them. From the way that they post their picture. If a guy is standing there with his shirt off and flexing his six-pack abs, well, what is that telling you about that guy? It tells you that he's pretty superficial. Now look, I'm all for being fit and being in shape. But if that's the picture you're putting out into the world, that kind of shows you your mindset and how superficial you are. So the best way to screen guys is simply to keep your eyes and your ears open. Just simply look at what's out there. Look at how a guy's presenting himself. Look at the things he says. Look at the way he's communicating to you. Is he being respectful? Is he following up? Does he call when he says he's going to call? When you're having a conversation, does he respect you and your feeling? Or is it all about him? Does he shut you down quickly? You can find out all of this stuff without ever leaving your home. That's why I'm a huge advocate of online dating. And one of the best things you can do to screen men is to simply learn how to ask them questions. Now, there's a fine line between asking questions and interrogating somebody. Because the second a guy feels that you're a woman with an agenda and that you're interrogating him, he's going to run for the hills. So there's an exact science to actually learning how to ask the questions and get the answers you're looking for without a guy even knowing that that's what you're doing. Because let's face it, you do have an agenda, right? So does he. There's a reason why a guy goes online dating, whether it's to find the love of his life or to find the love of the next 15 minutes. Okay? So if you get clear and you learn how to ask the questions and identify what the guy's agenda is, it's going to make your life so much easier. And that leads us into step number 3. Don't settle. See, once you identify what's on your checklist for love, those important qualities and characteristics that you absolutely positively must have, if you settle, you will never have the type of relationship that you truly desire. Simply look at your past. Look at the lives of your girlfriends, coworkers, or family members who have settled. Are they really in the types of relationship that they desire and deserve? Probably not. And if you've settled before, you know how that's worked for you. So if you want to have the great relationship, you've got to be willing not to settle. And you've got to be willing to make those tough choices. And one of the ways you do this is learning how to manage your emotions. Really confronting your fears. If you want to settle or you find yourself staying in bad relationships or pursuing guys who simply don't make you happy, just simply ask yourself this one question. What am I afraid of? Because when you confront your fears and you deal with them without judging them, you simply realize that, I'm doing this for the wrong reasons. And when you realize and make the choices and decisions so that you don't settle, you will get to where you want to go. It's simply a matter of time. So I hope this helped. I guarantee that if you follow these 3 simple steps and you do them in online dating, things are going to become much, much easier for you. So that's my prayer. That's my intention. Hopefully this helps. As always looking forward to your feedback. Have an awesome day. We'll see you next week. God bless.